Hey everyone, it's Ryan from Fire Marketing, and in this video I'm going to show you 3 things that you're probably not tracking on your website in Google Analytics, and I'm going to show you how to track those and why you should track those. And the reason you're not tracking these things is because they're not enabled out of the box from Google Analytics. These are 3 things that I think you should be tracking that are not enabled out of the box with Google Analytics, and I think you should implement it on your website. And so the first thing I want to show you is outgoing links. So what's an outgoing link? An outgoing link is when someone clicks on a link on your website that goes to another website. So obviously Google Analytics can track all the activity on your website, but it's limited to the scope of your website. So if someone goes to your home page and then your about page and then your contact page, obviously it tracks all of that as page views. But if they go from your home page to your about page to a supplier's website, it can't track that once they leave, and you may not even know that they left and where they went. And so tracking outgoing links is important because you want to know, are you sending traffic somewhere else? Where are you sending them? On which pages are they going out? Is it good? Is it bad? And all of that. At the end of the day, Google Analytics doesn't track it out of the box, but it's super simple to track it, and I'm going to show you how to do that real quick here. So here I have a report. I'm under behavior, events, and I'm filtered here to my event category of outgoing, which is where I track all of my outgoing links on this particular website. And just to show you real quick, these are all of the outgoing links, and the way I send these into Google Analytics is I send the link name or the text that's in the link, and then the URL that someone's being sent to. So in this particular case, the number one link is people are going to ryanfire.com. And I just closed out of this additional view just to show you how to do this, but I can add a secondary dimension here, and it'll show you which page someone clicked on this link on. So on the About page, we had 11 clicks on ryanfire.com, and on the home page we had 3 clicks on iTunes podcast link. And so all of this is tracked in Google Analytics, but it's not out of the box. And so we have to create some event tracking so that a piece of code on the website that sends this signal, this information to Google Analytics when it happens, so that I can track it, run reports on it, I can create conversion goals on it, I can create advertising audiences on it, and so on. So it's something that you should be tracking on your website, but you're probably not, if you just have the standard Google Analytics code on your website. Now the good news is that if you use Google Tag Manager, outbound link tracking is really easy. So you can see in this example, I've got 5 tags. Now, if we back up real quick, if you have no idea what Google Tag Manager is, before the days of Google Tag Manager as a marketer, we have a Facebook pixel, we have a Google Analytics tracking code, we have a LinkedIn Insight tag, we have a Snapchat tag, a Twitter tag, we have all of these codes, we have a Hotjar, tracking code that we want on the website so we can keep track of all of this activity. And in the old days, you had to send that code to a developer to have them put the code on the website so that you could track that information. Well, what Google Tag Manager did was essentially you give them the Tag Manager code to put on the website, but then as a marketer you can get in here and add tags as you need it. And so you can add your Google Analytics tag, your LinkedIn tag. You can see here I've got a MailChimp pop-up tag. You can add all of that right within here without having to touch the code of the website. That's like very surface level what Google Tag Manager is, but it essentially allows you to put all of your tags in one place, so you're not having to go back and forth with the developers every time you change a new platform or something like that. So in this example, we're tracking outgoing links. We're sending it to Google Analytics as an event. So you can see this matches that report we were just looking at. We're sending it into this category of outgoing. It's a click, and the information I'm sending is the click text, which is essentially the text that is hyperlinked. Or if it's an image, it's actually blank that it gets sent into Google Analytics. And then the URL, so where someone is going. And this all gets sent into Google Analytics. You have a firing trigger here, which is a sense what triggers this event, this tag, to happen. And so in this case, it's on Outbound Links. And essentially what you do here is you set up a trigger that says when someone clicks on a link that isn't going to a page on this website, but it is going to another website, then track that information. And so, this is a simple way to add this outgoing link tracking within Google Tag Manager. You can also do it outside of Google Tag Manager. Essentially what you're going to do is you're either going to send, you're basically going to send an event into Google Analytics, and whether you're using the G tag or one of the other Google Analytics implementations, it's super simple to do. You just would send it as an event. Our next thing that you're probably not tracking in Google Analytics is video interactions. So when someone is on your website and you've got a YouTube video embedded on the page, do you know how many people are playing that video? How far they watch it? If you've got hundreds of pages on your website, thousands of pages on your website, you've got videos throughout it. Do you know when videos are being played, on which pages, how long they're being played? And then are you able to create audiences off of that? Are you able to create conversion goals off of that? Probably not if you're just using the out-of-the-box Google Analytics. So again, here you can see I have a report. I have this event category as video, and these are all the videos on this particular website, the names of the videos. But again, I can do a secondary dimension here and add in the page, and we can see on which page these videos had some type of action. Then I can drill down on a video, and this is where you get all the good information. So in this particular case, this video had 54 starts. It had 42 got to 25%, 36 got to 50%, 28 events of getting to 75%, and then 20 completed the video. And again, I can create conversion goals off of this. I can say one of my conversion goals is to engage with the content to the end. And so if someone completes a video, that could trigger a conversion goal, and then I can optimize things on the website towards getting more of those conversion goals. You can also use this information to create, a remarketing list or an audience and things like that. So it's incredibly important information, but it doesn't come out of the box from Google Analytics. So again, this one is super simple to set up in Google Tag Manager because they already have what are called YouTube actions built into Google Tag Manager. So if I click on this, you can see the different triggers that I'm tracking on this website. We have starts, completes, progress, and when somebody gets to 25, 50, and 75%. And then, there's also a checkbox here to make sure that it can support YouTube videos. So all of these events are triggering this tag, and what this tag does is it sends an event in the video category. If you remember from that report, we had video status, so this was start, progress, or complete. And the percentage, it was 0, 25, 50, 75, or 100. And then I also put in the video title as the label. I consider these non-interaction hits, which are important. So a non-interaction hit essentially means don't mess with the bounce rate. So, learn from my mistake. I launched a landing page once, and it was kind of like a full height section landing page. And so like you first had this hero section, and then you could scroll down to this next section, and you scroll down to the third section, and so on. And I tracked it, so I want to know how many people are getting to the first section, how many people are getting to the third section, and so on, which is great to track that information. But I was tracking them as interactive hits. So just by someone scrolling to the next section, it was counting as an interaction and therefore not a bounce. And so we launched this landing page, and it was like, oh man, our bounce rate has gone way down. When reality is it didn't really affect the bounce rate. So we were just tricking Google Analytics by recording those as interaction hits. So in this case, watching a video to 25% versus 50%, I don't think that's really an interaction. Now you could say playing a video might be interactive, and so you might want to log that one as an interactive hit, but then some of the progress events differently. But that's all like a little bit in the weeds. So this is how you set up a YouTube video tracking code in Google Analytics. And then the third thing you're probably not tracking in Google Analytics, because it's not enabled out of the box, is e-commerce. Now if you have an e-commerce website, this stuff is incredibly important. I'm not going to get into too many of the reports here, but this is just an example of one of the e-commerce reports that you get. So you have it's basically a funnel visualization of flow on the traffic on the website. So 39,000 total sessions, 31,000 of those looked at a product page, 1,300 added to cart, 660 started a checkout, and then 404 actually converted and made a purchase. Now, this is not tracked out of the box with Google Analytics. Like, you have to enable it. So if you're on Shopify or WooCommerce or BigCommerce or any of the major e-commerce platforms, they support this, but you have to have it enabled in Google Analytics, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. It's simple. So if you go in the admin area, Google Analytics is split up into accounts, properties, and views. And so it's actually under the view that you need to enable e-commerce. So you'll enter e-commerce settings, and usually there's just one checkbox here. And then once you enable that, it gives you the option to enable enhanced e-commerce reporting, which will need some support from the e-commerce system that you're using. But that's essentially how you enable it, and the e-commerce platform takes care of the rest. It sends all the information in to Google Analytics, and then again, you can create, it automatically creates kind of conversion goals or e-commerce conversion goals. You can see revenue data, you can see products, you can see, that checkout view and all of that within Google Analytics. So 3 simple things you probably should be tracking on your website that you aren't unless you have implemented the code, you've implemented the tags in Google Tag Manager, or you've enabled the settings in Google Analytics. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Again, I'm Ryan from Fire Marketing, and have a great day.